we are privileged to live in Canada, and we, I think, have this idea of what Canadian society or Canadian life brings, and then when that's ripped away from you in 24 hours, you really have a sense of what's important in life. It's a neurological disorder that affects my neuromotor system, and is, in my case, means that I have limited use of my extremities. I was in a abusive relationship, family relationship, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So I made the decision for the betterment of my mental health to leave, although it was not something I did voluntarily. I've often said that Susan Burhoe saved me and allowed me to realize my potential. If it was not for Susan Burhoe, I would be on the street at the moment.
We were just thinking for this year, at least, if we could just get him through this year and see what happens. And then we just had this tremendous response.
The fact that the Canadian public was able to raise $45,000 is amazing. The problem that I have is that amount of money, it puts me still in a position where I have to make decisions about what is the most important at the moment. The cost of living with a disability in comparison to $45,000 is astronomical.
Cleavages between different groups in society and the power.
It's depressing. It's tragic. It's sad, and I want to be the last.
Like that Carleton is the only institution in North America that has 24-hour care. Why? Why is that? Like, that's great that Carleton is, but what about people living elsewhere in the country, right? Like Ben's from Toronto. Why wasn't there some place in Toronto that has those kinds of services?
I think the generosity to people in Ottawa is amazing. I mean, my story went throughout Toronto before it went throughout Ottawa, and I didn't get $45,000 from Toronto. Well, I think that I think that I'm a new face to a long-standing issue. I think that people think that because I'm disabled, I can't become homeless because there are safety nets within the government and within society that prevent that. And I can tell you that I'm not the only one. I have friends who are in similar positions to what I was and don't feel they can leave because of the lack of social support. So I hope that society uses my story as a catalyst to change. I had to bring my story to the attention of the public before somebody actually stepped up and said, we're going to do something. Does that mean that every homeless kid has to put their face on a television screen to be able to survive in Canada? Is that really what we're telling people? And if we are, then I think we need to examine if that's the type of Canada we want to live in, because that's not my Canada.